Hello my dear friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara, and today we're going to be looking at the secondary progressions progressing out of Gemini Sun or Rising into Cancer Sun or Rising. So this video is for you if you do have this placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. Also, if you don't know what secondary progressions are, you can check out the first video that I recorded. I'm going to put it in the comments below where I talk about what they are, what they mean, and how we can calculate them. So let's get into it. First, before we look at the progression, we have to look at what does the sun and what does the rising mean, okay? So rising is the first house, it's the house of the self, it's our identity, okay? So what we identify as, especially on the outside to the rest of the world. The sun is all about the ego, but it's also to do with our identity. So when we look at Gemini Sun or Rising, originally you guys were probably very chatty, okay, playful, you had a lot of fun, you guys were very intellectual, very funny, okay, it's all about the mind with the Gemini placements. You guys probably talk a lot, okay, those are like the stereotypes of Gemini. You have a lot of friends, probably belong to a lot of different friend groups, met a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life. You guys probably like traveling, but short, okay, distance travel is really what Gemini is all about. It's all about the local energy. So it's like you would befriend someone at your grocery store or at the library or at wherever you guys go, to the movie theater, like these types of things. Like Gemini energy, really, especially in the sun or rising, is all about, you know, talking to people, connecting people, networking, meeting new people, all these types of things. So you guys were really in that Gemini energy. So when you guys go through this progression, it might feel like a huge change for you guys, and you guys might also feel resistant to it, because also what Gemini does is they're intellectual in the sense of their emotions, okay? So when you guys go into the Cancerian progression, you're going to be asked to look at your emotions, okay? And that might be something that the Gemini is not necessarily comfortable with, okay? Gemini doesn't really go in deep, especially when it comes to emotions. They want to keep things light. They want to keep things fun. They don't want to get too like serious and all these sorts of things. That's probably why you're going to see a lot of Gemini placements either dating around or keeping things, I don't want to say surface level like it's a negative thing. It's just like, it's not their thing, okay? You guys just don't really care to dive in deep into the emotions. You guys are going to be like the types of people where it's like, oh, I understand that I'm feeling this emotion, but you're not going to be going in deep to feel it, right? Like the Cancerian placements do. So when you guys go through this transition, you guys might notice yourselves maybe not interested in dating around as much anymore, or having all these different types of friends where it's like, oh, well, now I'm looking to create a home, okay? So that's the whole thing with the Cancerian energy. Cancer comes through, and it also is all about nurturing. So you guys might kind of go from the role of, again, being scattered, being all over the place with all these different friends, chatting with everybody, to now wanting to maybe create a home, not only with another person, but maybe with yourselves, a home within the self, really feeling safety and security in that sense. So it's interesting to see this transition, okay, because it's very different if you really think about it. Gemini is very much like, again, scattered in the sense where it's like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to go to this place and I want to go to that place and all these things. I want to learn this, okay? They're all about learning, right? You get into the Cancerian energy, you're going to be now asked to go in deep, feel these emotions. Some of you guys might even have psychic gifts come online during this time, because Cancer is very, very psychic in that sense. If we look at even things like mother's intuition, right? What people talk about, Cancer usually deals with the mother, although these days parents can take on different roles. So the father could take on the mother role. Regardless, when we look at it, it's a feminine energy. We all have feminine, masculine within us. So you guys are now being asked to tune into the feminine, okay? The feminine energy, the feminine side of life, okay? So emotions, feeling, intuition, nurturing, creativity even, right? Because a lot of the time what tends to happen is, because Cancer has all these emotions, and for you guys it might be unresolved, because in the earlier part of your life, because when we're looking at the sun especially, it's going to be the earlier part of your life. You're going to be in the Gemini, unless you're tuning into this and you're going from Gemini to Cancer in the second part of your life. Regardless, okay, whatever part of your life that you're in, you're going through this transition where it's like you maybe didn't take things so seriously before. You guys just wanted to have fun, these types of things. And it's like Cancer comes through and it's like, no, now we're going to feel. So when you guys are in this placement, important not to get stuck in the feeling aspect of things, right? Cancer, when it's in a shadow, can be moody. They can also get very nostalgic, okay? So they really do tend to romanticize old places, people, things, circumstances more than they should be. That's what Cancer tends to do. So they tend to fall into like an energy of nostalgia. And it's like, it's more so like a romanticizing energy where it's like, oh, it was so nice when, you know, we were kids, or it was so nice when I was at that place. And you guys might find yourselves wanting to go to like certain areas where it's like you guys had really good memories there, because you're like now feeling, right? You're now feeling, you didn't really have time to feel, or you didn't care to before, where it was like, okay, this is the emotion, I'll deal with it later kind of thing. The Cancer energy comes through and it's like, okay, now it's time to deal with all those emotions. So you guys might find yourselves in like a nostalgia energy, but again, it's important to feel it, don't get stuck in it. Okay, so that's the whole thing here with like the Cancerian placements. That's why Cancer also can be moody sometimes, because they might have taken on a lot of energy and they don't know whose is what, okay, where all these energies are coming from, all these emotions, because it's like you're getting more almost like empathic in that sense, right? Where it's like not only do you have your emotions, but you might take on other people's emotions, right? Because it's kind of like those psychic gifts and abilities, intuition is now coming online for you guys. So taking time to yourselves, if you look at it, it's the little crab. Crab has a little home, right? So it's kind of like when they don't like what's happening outside in the world, they go into the home. So you guys might spend a lot of time wanting to create a home, again, for yourselves, a safe space where you guys can retreat into, go into your thoughts, go into yourselves and feel things, but don't get stuck in the feelings. That's the whole message here really with the Cancerian energy, is like, you know, it's important to process and to feel things, but don't get stuck in it, and don't romanticize things that maybe happened in the past. And it's like, maybe it wasn't a good situation, but it's like now you're thinking back and you're like, no, it was the best thing ever. Like whatever it is, right? I'm kind of just giving you guys random examples. But another thing that you guys can do also with the Cancerian energy is you guys can now learn to transmute these emotions maybe into things like art, right? It needs an outlet, or maybe writing. Because the thing is with secondary progressions, it's an additional energy. So some of you guys might already be skilled and talented in the written or spoken word because of your Gemini sun or rising. Now you have these emotions, so you can take these emotions and maybe write them out. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be going around sharing these things with people, but it's just important to release. Okay, so that's the whole thing here. You want to get it out of your system, so you're not kind of like stuck in that energy where it's like it's all within you and there's no outlet for it. It needs to go out, right? Either it goes out or it goes in, but you don't want it to get repressed in. Kind of want to release. Okay, so that's the whole thing with the Cancerian energy. So it's really an interesting progression to go through, because again, Gemini is more about the mind and I are going more into the feelings and the emotions, and your interest might change during this time. Maybe before, again, you wanted to have a lot of friends, you wanted to go to a lot of events, you wanted to go to a lot of parties, like these types of things where you get to socialize. Now, maybe you want to be more in your home. Maybe now you become more of a hermit. Maybe now you become more of like a homebody, and it's like people around you are going to be like, what's going on? Like you used to love going to these events and going to all these places, and it's like, now you're in the Cancerian progression where it's like maybe it's just too overwhelming to feel everything around you. So you need to take time to yourselves. That's the thing with the Cancer energy. They always need to take at least some time to themselves, maybe even being by water, okay, or taking baths or showers, anything to do with water, whether you're in it or by it or around it, okay, to help you cleanse the emotions that maybe you've taken on even from other people, okay, because that's the Cancerian energy. This is really the whole Gemini progression into Cancer, sun, or rising. I hope you guys enjoyed my quick little video. If you did, make sure you like, let me know in the comments below, share and subscribe, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.